I'm here with Roger Narayan. He's supporting Indus. And how are you doing in the Bay Area today?
I'm actually here supporting Indus, which is a charity, and you hear all the fast music in the background, and that's part of the after event, music and dance going on. And Indus does a lot of children's education in arts and music and dance. And so I'm here to, I was the MC of the event, and I had a lot of fun, hosting the event.
I noticed that you were really happy, enjoying everything that was going on.
Yes.
Yeah, very personable.
Thank you.
So tell me how you got your start in acting and how you're interested in acting.
Absolutely. I used to be a very naughty kid growing up. In kindergarten, I'm told my mom and, she talked to, I think, my kindergarten teacher at the time, and they were trying to figure out a way to channel my energies. I was very naughty and always, making fun of the teachers in class, making kids laugh, which is a good skill that I draw upon. But they were trying to channel that energy into something constructive. So that kindergarten teacher, being so wise, she put me in Peter Pan, which is my first play as a kindergartner, and I just simply loved it. It was a great outlet for my, excess energy, and I just loved it so much. I went on to do a couple of other things. I think I'm told I also did Ali Baba. I played Ali Baba, and all the other 40 thieves were all kindergartners.
And
Charlie's Chore, exactly.
Very nice story.
So that's basically where I think it started off, and I was just completely hooked. I loved the pretending, playing, becoming other people, telling stories, this kind of thing. And it gave me a really nice and healthy outlet, I think, for my excess energy as a hyperactive child. So. And
as an adult, you're an engineer and in management in the Bay Area.
Right.
How did that happen?
This is all actually by design. I did very well throughout school and high school. I continued to do a lot of theater and drama, in high school. I was valedictorian of my, high school graduating class. I know that's going to reduce my street cred, but
in the Bay Area.
No, this is actually in India. And I actually ended up having a choice of attending the top drama school in India or the top engineering school. And pragmatism prevailed at the time, and I ended up attending engineering school. But I went to a school called BITS Pilani, which is one of the top schools in India. And fortunately for me, there was a very vibrant cultural scene there. There's the Oasis, which is the cultural festival of BITS Pilani, is one of the top college cultural festivals in India. So I got to perform improvisation, sketches, creative writing, that kind of thing. And so it gave me an outlet to continue doing my performing, even though I had to sacrifice going to drama school at the time. But that happened, and then I came to the US to go to graduate school, and I was drawn to the .com boom that was happening at the time. That's what brought me to Silicon Valley. And I was asked to MC a few events. Someone asked me to participate in this competition called Mr. India California. I did, and I won the competition. And also, coincidentally...
What's your talent? What did you...
I actually performed a poetic piece from Rabindranath Tagore for my acting segment. That was my talent. So it was really a lot of fun. I was hooked on performing on stage again. And in fact, the Mr. India organization in India, which is Grasim, they invited me to fly to India to participate there. I was a semi-finalist there. And all of this started me on the path of modeling. I decided to get some formal training, as an adult, because all of the acting work I did earlier was as a child. And so I decided, classical acting training was very important. So I studied at American Conservatory Theater right here in San Francisco. Did a lot of independent films in San Francisco, for Academy of Art, Berkeley, Film Arts Foundation, all these places. And after having a few projects under my belt, I decided to pursue this full-time, and I moved to Los Angeles.
And you left your engineering career?
So I still have a lot of passion for technology. I still have my iPhone. I use all of the gadgets that are available. So I still have a passion for technology, but I do consult from time to time. People who know that I was very good with that work, they'll call upon me once in a while for advice or some kind of consulting, but really my full-time focus is acting right now.
And you've done quite a few. You're currently on Castle. You've done Bold and the Beautiful, Outsourced. Quite a bit of work. I mean, I'm just naming a few, but there's a huge list of television, theater, film,
Yeah.
and now you're moving into Hindi and Tamil
Yes,
films.
yes.
So talk about your television career.
I think television is a great training ground for working on camera because it's kind of like an exposure to a small film, but with the same high production value and the same high, commitment to quality and performance. So I started off, with a lot of shows on, Discovery, on Nickelodeon. I did iCarly and Victorious, recurring roles on Victorious. I've done a bunch of comedies, Better Off Ted for ABC, American Body Shop for Comedy Central, and then I graduated on to do more serious stuff. I did a very solid episode on House MD. I played a Hindu priest, and I got to work with Neil Patrick Harris in How I Met Your Mother. It was wonderful working with Betty White. She's so amazing. She's a consummate professional, but yet she's so fun to be around. We laughed in the makeup trailer all morning before we shot the episode, and and Castle, like you mentioned most recently, was the season 4 opening episode, the season premiere, where Beckett is shot and you find out whether she survives or not. So it was an exciting episode for a lot of people. In fact, a lot of people wrote to me from India, and that's where TV is going these days, is people abroad are watching TV. And my sister was in Munich recently in Germany for work. She turns on the TV and my House MD episode is on there with German subtitles. And she calls me and says, you know what I'm watching? I'm watching your House MD episode. I was like, in Germany?
Yeah.
So apparently there's such a worldwide following for all these US TV shows. So I think TV has been a wonderful learning ground for me, and I've done a bunch of network TV for all the networks, CBS, ABC, NBC, Fox, Discovery, and all these cable channels as well, Nickelodeon and Comedy Central. So it's been very, a good learning experience.
And I noticed you've done a wide gamut of roles, including you've done the serious physician roles.
Yes.
You've done the taxi driver role.
Yes.
The cab driver role.
To Neil Patrick Harris, nonetheless.
Yes.
So it was fun working with him.
Yeah, and also I've seen the scenes with Betty White.
Yes.
How do you change character when you're focused towards a child audience like iCarly or Victoria, as opposed to an adult character, more serious?
Yeah, I think it's not one of a difference in performance. I think it's more of a difference in terms of how physical it is, because I think children respond more to physical comedy, like a lot of histrionics and like something that's really silly, like physically silly, like someone trips and falls, they think it's funny. As adults, we're like, oh, I hope they weren't hurt. So it's like a very basic difference in how they think. So for my work in iCarly and Victorious, it was a lot of physical comedy in terms of being big and speaking very larger than life. Exactly, very histrionic, very huge. You bring it out more. You don't hold it in. Whereas I think for an adult audience, especially for drama, I think the performance on camera, because it's very different than theater. In theater, you have to project to the last seat of the audience so they can hear you and watch your performance. But in TV, the camera is right there. Many times it's multi-camera. They're capturing you from different angles all at the same time. So really, as long as you can be truthful to the character and have that truth kind of show and find that silence in the character's truth, I think that comes across. The camera really picks that up quickly, and it always is very objective about it. So,
what do you want to do now that you haven't done?
I grew up on a very healthy staple of Hindi and Tamil films, and I'm actually in discussions on a couple of projects in Mumbai and in Chennai. And I think there's this new wave of very hatke se, very alag se filmmaking that's coming up now. If you know what I'm talking about, a lot of young filmmakers and also established filmmakers. I hugely respect Amir Khanji's work, both as an actor and also now as a producer and director. There's a lot of young talent, like Anurag Kashyap, Vishal Bharadwaj, Vikram Motwane and all these people. I grew up on a very healthy staple of Kamal Hassan films and Rajinikanth films, and they're all superstars in their own right. And there's also a new spate of films. Mani Ratnam sir's work I hugely respect. He's done both Hindi and Tamil films. Director Shankar sir, Prakash Raj, all of these people are doing these very hatke se, very new types of stories, that talk about other things other than just the same, family thing or like that we're used to in Hindi films.
Girl running around.
Exactly. So something more meaningful, something more real. That's more that speaks to our reality of living today in today's world.
When you do all this work, how busy are you? Are you going from project to project, or do you have some lag time in between? Are you doing photo shoots? What is going on in between?
I think it depends on the time of the year, and also many times, projects are sometimes in discussion, so it varies. There's been times when I've worked on 2 projects at the same time, where I split dates and work on 2 projects. Most likely, I'm able to focus and concentrate on one at a time if I have the luxury of doing that. And hopefully, as we go forward, there's going to be more of that good type of problem of coordinating dates between multiple projects that happens, especially also with my anticipated travel to India, exploring projects there. I'm hoping that I can work concurrently on multiple projects and still be able to completely explore my full artistic range as an actor and my performing range in terms of the depth and breadth of characters I play. To anybody who's aspiring out there, not just to be an actor, but to be creative in any way, to pursue any life endeavor, I think it's very important to be very clear about what your passion is, and it's very important to really get the training and be good at it, and then it's very important to work hard. Because I think the masters, my idols, Daniel Day-Lewis, and Betty White and Johnny Depp and all these people, they seem so effortless, but that's because I think they do so much preparation and they're so good in terms of the discipline to prepare and the will to prepare.
And they're also down to earth, which
That's
you
right.
are too. I noticed because I noticed you up on stage.
Thank you. You're very kind.
How do you think that quality helps you in all the work that you get and all the people that you interact with?
It's very interesting. We're in a time and place where everything is collaborative. Even this interview, your wonderful, mom is videotaping us here, and you're interviewing, and this is a team effort right here. And to reach your audience, this collaboration is very critical. And this is true of all TV projects, film projects, especially because there's so much technology involved. You need to be able to delegate responsibilities to people, and the only way to make sure everything comes together in a successful end result, is to make sure that people can work with each other. And so I think, being down to earth, as you say, you're very kind in saying that about me. I really think it's very important to be able to work with people and to collaborate and be the best that we can be in each of the core competencies we're good at, so that altogether the end result is going to be exceptional. Yeah, so collaboration is the way to go, and that's very critical in today's world.
Thank you for the interview, and thank you for your time and your support for Indus.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on your show. And hi, I'm Narayan, and you are watching me on Sitaarre TV.